Um, Good morning, fellow Gambians, and good afternoon to those in other countries. I'm greeting you again this Tuesday morning, making a short video recording a little bit early, since it will be nearly time to go to work. I apologize if the network shakes, because nowadays we have many things connected to one wireless box. I'm just trying to say a little bit about the trial yesterday of our late hero, Ibrahima Solo Sandeng. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. May his soul rest in peace. For people to realize that the late Solo Sandeng, just to give one background, when they were arrested and taken to the NIA dungeon at 2 a.m. from Mile 2 prisons, according to the eyewitness account, one of the gentlemen that he was arrested with, who is a tall guy, very strong, according to him, these people couldn't even handle Solo. They had to handcuff him, his hands behind his back. Even with that, these drunken talks of Jammeh were unable to control Solo. So they had to sort of even, do certain things that I don't want to go through. I'm just trying to explain what this thug mentality, this criminal gangster mentality, that Jammeh has created. Jammeh has created this gangster thug mentality among his supporters, among his green youths, among his security personnel, especially those closer to him, to the extent that they don't have any feeling, they don't have any empathy, they don't have any care, they don't have any remorse. So this is why I think it will take the whole Gambia together to try to change the mindsets, the attitudes of the APRC party people. Even if we ban that party, as some people are calling, I'm telling you this, the habits and the attitudes they've learned is so carefree, is so unremorseful, that they could metamorphose, they could change into something else. But yesterday was a solemn day in the Gambia. Yesterday was a day that even the most cold-blooded Gambian should have some feeling. I've never heard of a trial in this recent past, in this past 10 years or 22 years, where a body was dug up from the grave for medical examination in a trial. In this past 22 years, I've not read it anywhere, and I keenly follow Gambian news. Now, if such things happen, and the relative of Louis Gomez, Yankuba Baji, and others were in court in such a solemn occasion or solemn trial, why would those family members felt it necessary to try to create a commotion or to try to violently attack the families of the late Solo Sandeng? Why? Because the families of this Louis Gomez and these people know that it's a new Gambian mindset that the new government and the leaders in it are trying to create, that democracy is not perfect. However, it has to go through that chaotic environment, because there must be chaos in society for change to happen. Although this chaos must be able to be managed, you have to be able to manage it so that it does not lead to lawlessness and criminality and violence. And these people, the APRC, those people behind the APRC machinery, they know that. So the best weapon they want to do is to create instability. So this is why when they are out, they are abusing people, they're having stones and rocks inside their vans, they're swearing at people, they're going with Jammeh's things. All they want to do is to create the environment for people to attack them. So this is why our appeal to Gambians, as usual, is to remain calm and leave them to the law enforcement authorities, to the police. When we say law enforcement, that's Americans, you know. Let's leave them to the police to deal with. Video them, give these evidences to the police. Because we want Gambians to be law-abiding, to allow the law to take its course. Do not take the law in your own hand. The moment you start to do that, you are creating a situation where lawlessness becomes the order of the day. And lawlessness, what it does is that it disables the women, the children, the elderly become the biggest target, the biggest victims. So, and as able-bodied youths, young men and women, we must always be thinking about the plights of those in a disadvantaged position. So these APRC people, what they are trying to do is to create a complete anarchy and chaos in the country. And they will be trying to do that until some of their key leaders start to face trials and prosecutions. Then it will dawn on them that there is a new order. And that order is a civilized order. It's not an order of hatred. Whether you like Adama Barrow or not doesn't matter. Obey the law. Adama Barrow is not in a beauty contest to be liked, to be loved. You know, I don't think he's expecting that from people. What he's expecting is for people to be lawful, to be law-abiding, and for the judicial officers to make sure that they execute the law in the most honest, transparent, and dignified manner. That's what we want in the Gambia. Adama Barrow shouldn't be expecting people to love him and adulate him, whether you are APRC, whatever you are. No, let the rule of law rule supreme. And the rule of law, the rule of law is the only mechanism that can make this Gambia go forward, that can bring investors in, from tourism to medicine to agriculture to manufacturing. That will, because they will have the confidence to come in. So these people, what they're trying to do is to create an aura, the environment that we have been attacked. Now, we all seen yesterday, Fatimata Sandeng, Mohammed Sandeng, Solo Sandeng's son and daughter, Aminata Sandeng. These are some of the most peaceful Gambians. They're always smiling, even during this whole traumatic episode. They've been smiling. The wife of Solo, Nyima Sonko, I have never heard him complain once. And I nearly talk to her every 2 days since they were in Senegal, you know, when they flee away from Jammeh. I've never heard Nyima Sonko complaining. And, you know, even though they were not living in any very, very comfortable condition. But he accepted that my husband gave himself up to the nation. And he was not been doing that for himself or for their family. He was doing it for the whole country. So the APRC people, it is very important for Gambian youths to understand the games that they are playing. The games the APRC is playing is what you call a victim mentality. They are the criminals. They are the aggressors. They have been the oppressors. And they have been the victimizers. They have been the killers. They have been the vampires. And they've been the witches. But in other words, they're trying to switch that, turn that over, try to make those people they victimize as, you know, they are victims, they're aggressors. So they are trying to blame even this innocent Sandem family, somebody whose father was killed brutally. He wasn't just shot, he was killed brutally. If I should go through the way they killed him, none of you will start, most of you will stop watching me, even hardcore Jammeh supporters. You know, so the man that you couldn't handle, blindfolded, handcuff his hand behind his back, yet you couldn't control him. That's the heart of a lion. You know, so the children of those people, why would you go and start abusing those people in the court? You know, we could have rallied our supporters to go and, you know what, when they do that, just, you know, kick the backside of all of them there. But we didn't, and we will not. You know, and I hope by the next hearing the police would intervene and make sure civilized due process is followed. That they watch their family members go through the trial in the most fair, in the most advanced manner. Let them see the evidence, let them read the testimonies and witness account and everything. So the Sandeng family, we are very proud of you, Fatmata Sandeng, Mohammed Sandeng, Aminata, Nyaling, all of you. We are very, very proud of you, with your mother, Nyima Sonko, for the way you conduct yourself, and Fatmata's husband, Mr. Dabo. We are very, very proud of all of you, the way you handled yourself. Even though Mr. Dabo was given how small the courtroom is, because Gambian courtrooms are very small, and no fan, just one single fan there, no air conditioning, nothing. So we hope by the next trial they will provide a bigger hall and then cater for the attention that it will get nationally and internationally. But Gambians must realize that once somebody has a thug mentality, that criminal mentality, it is very difficult for them to be decent citizens. So it's going to take time for most of these indoctrinated APRC green youths to become normal human beings. As of now, they have lost their humanity. Most of these APRC green youths, some of them are in the paramilitary, in the army, working in the streets. Yeah, I may fix them, even in the civil service. But most of these people are thugs and they are criminals. So it is going to take most of our foresight and social observation to see them, because we are hearing news that even those working in the ports they turn up for work, but they don't do nothing, because they just want the people to start complaining even at the ports. Those working in most of the parastatals are trying to in Revenue Authority, GRA, turning up and trying to do nothing. So they have already started doing sabotage those within the system. So this is how you will be able to identify these green card-carrying green youths who have been pushed into the different systems, even in the hospitals. So they will turn up and they will not do their job because they want the system to collapse. So we have to go here with the intellect to understand who are these people, what kind of mentalities they have, and how can we tackle them. So the Barrow government now has a good task, change most of those directors put in place. Look at some of the middle managers. What is their background? Look at their background. What connection do they have with the hardcore militant green youths? If they are hardcore militant green youth, you remove them. As soon as you remove the middle managers, then those middle managers in there will now have direct contact with the supervisors, team leaders, and see who is also on the front line, who is refusing to do their job. Remove them forthwith and put Gambians in there that will make the country function. Because in GRTS alone, a debt of over 200 million is now on GRTS. Because Jammeh was using airtime, public airtime, and airtime is one of the most expensive things. Watching TV, you think it's cheap. It's not. You are using that for foot and puff. Okay, watching foot and puff for 3-4 hours. No benefit to the nation. Live on TV. That's very expensive. Organizing these big jamborees for no reason. Wasting money on endless farming programs. So the debt on GRTS is huge, needless, unnecessary. And this is, most departments are running on overdraft, meaning they have gone way above the debt level which is supposed to be manageable. So what Lawyer Dabo need to do, as I said in my last video, is to ask for debt relief and debt pardon, debt forgiveness from banks, from organizations, from everywhere that Jammeh has loaned, to ask for a debt relief so we can have our nation back. But to the Sandeng family, we are with you. It's going to be a difficult process because we are dealing with people who are hardcore criminals. They have no sympathy. They have no care. They have no remorse. And once you've removed that humanity out of people, they are nothing but skeleton. They are nothing but skeleton. So this APRC, this is why for me, I call them witches. Because in the old terminology, a witch is considered as somebody who drinks the blood of others, even though this could be a myth. But the reality is that if you don't value your fellow human being, if you don't feel their pain, if you don't feel their sorrow, if you don't feel their suffering, what are you? I want people to answer that question. What are you? What have APRC people been? They have not cared about what Jammeh was doing to Gambians. There is no area in the Gambia that somebody has not died as a result of Yaya Jammeh's brutality. No region in the Gambia, whether it's North Bank in the Badibu and Nyomi area, not in the South Bank, not in the UR Basse area, not in the CRR Makati area, not in the Mansakonko area, LRR, not in the West Coast, not in KMC, not in Banjul. So we have all felt the pain, the suffering, the brutality of Yaya Jammeh's dictatorship, this madness. And it was not Jammeh going around doing these things. It was ordinary Gambians who are looking for their pay, their salary, money, who are going out to be NIAs. What do they care about? It's the salary. And they call themselves Muslims and Christians. It's, as Muslims and Christians, what we eat should be of fundamental. We said we don't drink alcohol. We don't eat pork. But then we work as NIAs, spying on people, making people, get them arrested and be tortured and killed. What is that salary? I want Gambians to answer that question. You don't eat pork, oh, because it's haram. You don't drink alcohol because it's haram. Fine, understood. But the money, working for a brutal murderer, okay, working for a brutal killer, and then he's paying you. What is that salary? It's part, you are part of the line. It's like a factory line. This is my cup of tea, okay? But the cup is being manufactured in a factory. It's like a line. So most of our fellow Gambians have been the line of blood. They've been receiving salaries tainted with the blood of innocent people, with the tears of innocent people, with the pains and suffering of innocent people. So you've eaten that salary 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Do you think that person will end up having any empathy or sympathy for others? No. You know, so let us understand that. Switch over to Mandinka. Badimulu mbal kontonna, mbal nimbarala, mbal samala. Musibben fulbe misalmini onon fof yindema yettode mum onon fof bokke olof mangleni nuyu di len gërem di len santa mara mun sarankullu ndaga su kuñini kaw jamdi badimulu lafita ndel gambe dingul ye mellon wala mu ñinti ko APRC mu criminalol leti americanol kaf min na talk wala gangsters wala kata boy mol kanke fa because il lafte la fengole la ni ma soto musla ha kono ye fa ni tata Nigeria ka fo am robbers. So APRC yewo ma emiria sifa le soto ya jamme ye dal ni munela wolon kulubaliya bala firon nyimmatane ya wolon memman bala fa soto iman kamo kotinna nyimmolu kunun wolle tara solo sanden na fa dimbayal melyalon ko tata solo sanden na kiti bungoto Banjul bring woki imol tata o kiti dulato kito datita brim jojo kito adjoin pour teneo men kana mlafita na mo sopotal be findale ta wolum ni kulubale aka ali be city ndela nga fa ali be city ali la ndale police ol commande na ye be cikaji bari APRC be munen no kan because yala halama dingol foyeta la psychology yabti ko aka mune akena ka nyinke because ndel be ka kuke dalilol la ap nyinke ka mune kama number 1 man den ko alkal koto man la fisate wala kayrola muna ken ni yo fo because nate botaje akafale ha ndeti je sate o be jania be tinya mentality membe APRC bulu bi wolon fitino e wuli Gambia wolon atil Gambia di wuli nyo kama le nyo fa albinyo la property janila buri moli ya imaje brin jamme botaje tinyaro felabe kala mo banko control no so itel dalta media men kata kanilai kunta ya ninjene barango nin kulubaliya nin kodi tinya e addicta wala le sanyi so addiction o nying akamenda ni mo addicta cigarette la wanto dolo wanto tai wanto kunta ya pour ya fa maria bulatili kileng akokole ala so abe wato talal jani APRC ko la psychology ba dile la ko kul falintale al dalta menna wo suratutale wo bantale so solo sanden na dimbayal meltata kiti bunto kunu wol mu kayra molleti nyima sanden sonko sanden nte naka diamu tilifla anene man complaining te ka fo mbetenne manyine soto. So wo akemala fa Gambia la nyin sanje mo nin fulo kono jumale ya moy ko tata mo wuri kaburo kono kana ka samba loptano do kana ka check kana ka ta kitola womu ku dimindim baleti womu kulati momen nga bala fa soto momen yalon ko ay mira ya soto a hakilo ana sondo mo ba miran kono amari ko amu muslimo leti yala mol ka muslimia abusle nka christiania abusle ntel african ol tuba wol buka sali ibuka sum bar daji ko membela wala fisiyata muslime jamaati mafo ibida arjanna wanti tida arjanna nte mawto mantara wo kawande kuto bari kadda mem ika bala fa sotole ika humanitarianism soto red cross to abole al findin red cross pour que mol mako e fitinol kono okay anin christian aid edf action aid us aid nil be ka fuarul mako nil dum buka sali most of melfan ko aid distributor fon ma hanla alala so ndel la banko kan ya jame muneki ay na banko moleta yake zombilti nal kan filmo jibe Frankenstein mol milialon ko wol bala fa hana do man dimu tela ka hada maddimu tikaw jeko manke fenti so APRC ko man Gambia dindol muta fenneti hani feng hani trakito lote ka ye ko tay ay balo si katame kan amanke nyako to fenti because cultlum an colt be nyadilam ni dunta kono momo ta kono ite man kawala so ya jamme kanyil indoctrinate le GRTS dam majube julome be GRTS la siada dala so million keme fulat because airtime ka si ka television chika kata samba futam pafla kanilai don furingol nin kunta ya GRTS cameral belori wo kan wo staff sul nyanta jolale wo electricity nyanta jolale wo airtime anin ku jamal me alon ka foko aka fenkeje wolbe alon ka foko inyanta kajo wolbe mune kana ke itil kana mune ke walla itil kana woleta ka ke fairround banko na flu department Gambia B na manke petroleum net julo memba bela loya dabo le nyanta wulila bi wala kenen deko nin atra mobe loya dabo iba against la kula afayla dabo laftele tarinke ta duniya kono janin duniya la mind bula gamme ka fu aliyam fannan na julolla julo membe gamme ka ya jame ma sibu membula department je me ngalon ko transo be la rengae abe is deeply indebted julu jaw le bolla so wo jul jaw lo ya dabo nyanta ka yayi to international companies, international banks everywhere ka fu ko aliyam fanye na julol nyilla nyinkan isaje banko si hani fighting chance bari APRC kolbe mennoma gamben kol damale fitina ndamole dunyola ibe dunna community koto mandin kol dunta tenne ilaftanyine la imalla falla imama kande fana use o fana betala duma abe nafikiya ke kan so ibe la plan muneti mama kande ni kan ndamol kunsenyola rak ni wakata ibaje la banko te governola nyile Gambia kon nyile ngani jaw ya soto andun tela advice badin Gambian ko be wala mu nyinti ko ngani understand ko ntel be nte Gambia nte nyobondi no la Gambia mbe fonga munya nyofe nga nyo samba bari nga intelligent farang mol mel lafta instability ning violence create la nyeni loi do kula bula nyola ntel civilian kension lu ngana loi tam bulol kono APRC ko la nomination lu nali aje bere balle fandi la motol kono anin dokolo anin ndiri jawle bole ke kam mola because laftale mole finti talenis lo kay ni dunyola isaje tel sita e dimbal bo ya itande dunya la ko ha we are now being oppressed ikafole ko nene afuna saferoto je kafala switching of label mentality to wabole ya no back ni laftete kala criminal back lafta dunya be jutula itel kanale pentro ci kaya mayla lafta pentro sifame male la bitu be findinde teleto itema chance to ke fan defend yo bari nyil fanam bammat APRC ko fanam be lafirin wala lambe bi tembo mento ka Gambia do ka itandi dunya la ko maje ndel briya botaje maje bentel ke kan nyamen iben oppress kanne iben ke kantenne nalka ila Suleiman Nya signol do lamani mo ko ton mel be Facebook ibo la create kan already and it is not true mol mele mo fa ni banku ni Nigeria ni la dolon tan nu nyina tawol dolla ibe be fa la prison le by now ita hana jela news bari ñil be ye rights to in prison, they have right to lawyers, access to lawyers, and they have been questioned in a civilized way. Ni ya yala time long. Yang kubaba ita na bulu fulo yo be kati fulo iba o jara kan ye imam baba li ñol dol sambala kat din ko sinke sa ke fenke ji e mo koten jamal melialon ka fuko ye tocho jaw wala kela solo sandeng janni ba bay question kan eyewitness ol mel bije na you sol mel benunje ya bulol hanko fa akomale wo be nyaaw nyema handul no okay kudol bije man la fi ngol found for because dinol dinol ben juwel pour dron kay subju walakin ni melialon ko man la politique di amal bar meli amira ka fuko UDP nkol mu let melialon ko they are violent, these people are jokers, to be honest with you. They are the most peaceful people. Nimbanku dolo mi nyinti teng change menkeda within 24 hours. Wotun wara APRC property be dawda ya be mala ye dimbal dum feng jamala ke destroy follow because of your brutality milke. Sadio kunjan sane nyol niya continent ka bo wolto 1996 nyol ma fon kana bi mome yalon ko anio bota ya ko la UDP kono ni be control kela properly asiata mo muan ani lultile asiata mo muan ni lult patite Gambia la history kono menga o sacrifice human molie fon put on the line ke fon sacrifice pour banko e kana o patite Gambia ala history nyin kono ani PPP atije andu wol mol boka give up la maron nyi mem fada ten ning rally be kel meeting be kering la maron nyol wado kata meeting dulale e buka dapan so fango tu so kon ni ta rally to e fengo be fix yenata lija yenata krip karabala pour ko tu so kon bar wol boka press conference ke ndedunta janale mota janale sambala jangata partit no andu wol juruma lebe je mele alon ko la sacrifice for that country wol fangol boko ke pour mo fango ya long no ibuka ke pour mo yalo e kake bankole kano men sodo banko andu ma fu ko e kano sodo banko mo kilimule no banko be tu so APRC be menno ma Gambia wolon ka civil work you are right Babukar Kesanyang you are right you get the mindset so wala ken ni anytime ni finta hanin campagne kono molbe diamu la may fatiyele ka diamu masane kintenyole ye polisol ni fenko presence yen femfen laftole ya arrest ifangul kono ji ya city ay bamman kut ya chika ya samba because yalan criminal mindset wadol ikata kan in a criminal lawful criminal behavior to wol fon kakele jang nale jaman polisol cross wala ken ni mubuka jaman polisol yab ni na te kam musla ale fanyama ni ke chika sandule ye jolonduma fe fon yalon ko ya nyille fon nyamatet it's lawful because you are trying to resist arrest so mindset member APRC is criminal, is addictive, drug induced because most of them can drop male, and it's like a violent, uncaring. So police, we have to retrain some of the police. Ni be arrest la. Abulo tromon non fa fon alon kam bulo kana katile han ko fo fixara. Ndela angaltel police kakejan is a lawful way to handle a thug, somebody with a criminal mindset. So momen alon ko amang hadmadiya daji ka kendo soto. Wadole ka tamakan sila dole. Kila Muhammad fon la fa ko sono ya tamandi sono ya watu bal kolea fanan tamandi kolea watu because nyil man civilized loi ay tiling alkani nakar nyongambe dingolom yemo ko nyaawnya akata ikana be unjust kana nakar bari ka tama kan sila la menga lon ka foko na lafta civil war ni lafta wala create la ndu bolo koto woto la ki ring leader sol be arrest an nibe arrest la ifon le aje ko nyi be nyi arrest kan manki ni balafa kon hani American police ol kakele ye arrest la hanko fo kay lo kan pour ya feel ko banko mo le important tete ya jamme how many Gambia dingol le fa akafu ne ko national security killing our good people for his personal security akafu ko national security so APRC criminal ol melbe Gambian society kono Barola government interior minister I press conference D because UN are present in the Gambia, ECOWAS is there, African Union la mol katunala regularly, Senegal and others because they are trying to emulate, trying to learn from there. But in yanda itanda ulako, these are the people mela alonko leftaka instability cause nyim banko kam. they are going ikata suto molla konyol kan be ethnic hatred fenkela, especially targeting Mandinkol. Mama kandi kakele itil fanan kakele. Ikata si kordal kono, ikata si konyol kan ni mol ya isolate kana pour ka wo plant, you know, mol kono ka try pour be tension create no la nyame. So a very good intelligence la ka gather about these people. Ye record because that is against the peaceful coexistence of the state. Ye arrest, ye samba. Ndeka fola numbari pitla funding keul alkana kebalu neng. Fumandinka kebalum, fufula kebalum, fusarawule kebalum, fusurwa kebalum, alkana woke. Al nyo funding keul femfen lafta fanyamandla into inuolo masti ina deal with in a way that itakana luatinya. But yakata, you know, ya taman wela me alonka balon ka fukul nonsense until to allow in this country. And law enforcers folioki. APRC mu criminal organizationality Fatmata Sandeng yol Muhammad Sandeng kadabula Aminata Sandeng ani solo wife nyima ika parewol harass la kunu for what? Because kunu neketa the first trial ti am hani kankula back because la marong be sasaring and then he died so mol be okufulo kunna barnata concentration o mengalo mol lafta di la solo trial o ketanu kunu Louis Gomez la family me alonko ye okeje tanu most of them could have been injured and hurt. What for? But in momo criminality, we found bukata found la safety le found remember. Janata Balona is already down. So this name video record pour Gambiano le alonko APRC il after violence la banko kang andung sideways GDC fananke makoile because same criminal will melbota APRC wolle tada GDC form. Mama kande ka fan civilized le ka fan nice soft. But look, criminal of fire shooting in Tyler dung. Fire bubu kaftano dung is a criminal. And in the West, some of the worst criminals are the ones who are very neat and civilized. One story, a Jamaican do arrest in London a few years ago. He was the one controlling the Yadi. Yadi is a Jamaican ganglom, a ruthless gang. It is like a drug distribute in many parts of London. The ringleader, who was worth over 13 million pounds. Okay? You never see him wear a boots. You never see him wear a long trouser. Akanyin 3/4 kurtolo dung. Silipaso anole katanyin marseulto. Nobody knows that he is the ringleader. He is the kingpin. At the phone kamel page, I couldn't know the mela. Wala ni more expensive from katara. You don't know silo kabi we wa. So, in the Gambian, we have to be smart and clever. Let's not be too simplistic. Let's get behind the minds of these criminals. Now understand who are they and why they want instability in that peaceful country. Scientists, many tourists are planning to go to Gambia. Investors are going every day. So we need small manufacturing industries. Youth will employ. We need telecommunication to be improved. Network countrywide. I improve. Road network unyanta kila constantly amanke janda da finish no constant Gambia be silated black constant silole da even within the towns itself and we let them compound owner soul ye involved in some of those schemes itela kordala bundala yakade slab soul kije so that I can do kenye fenko la thing messy fenko put slabs make slab people manufacture slab at cheap rate momo ila compound gate la ye slab kije atu silola na meta the government fanambana woto grade le beroki mano kaka so that we can development must step by step let sustainable development must step by step let but not to bore you. It's early morning, I need my breakfast, so I greet all of you. Fadabo Sanyang Aladdin Chati Kanyi Silaba Samate Inimbara Nakeba Kendolo Mwiti and Fadabo Mbalbe Inimbara Musa Jany Julaba Dabo Ngalbe Kamre Mariama Princess Sane Inimbara Mariama Mbe Kolale sorry for not getting back. Seku Sise Inimbara Bake Ablai Boy everybody else Albe Inimbara Somandalo Moja Mama Wuli but Jama can record ni watu so that at least I bonkunna my own wife Jara Ingalbe Kontong and the whole Gambian telom bakilin faculty. Let's hold each other, love each other, and care for each other. the prophet of Islam until Malong, Arabolum is an Arab. But I can if I could love for yourself what you love for others. Wolom Misilmeati. Soon in Salon in Fenkol, they are part of that. What love for others, you love for yourself, what you love for others, what you will love for yourself. So ning del Gambiano Lioso, you don't care whether you surwalet, whether you follow it, whether you bambaralet, whether you jolalet, whether you manding colored, whether you sarhulol, it will really matter to you. You take a molecule as human beings. Yemen can we found ye, ikole kanu modoli. You cannot song. Until a principle, Naja Mojamaka for Sundu is tribalist, Sundu is this. Look, do not accept anybody to belittle you. Because Allah made that to be belittled. Whether you are a man or woman, hold your head high. Because Allah, until Haramadin, He created us in dignity and respect. Respect yourself. And with self-respect, the moment you're subtle, some people don't like you. Some people don't like you. So Allah found respect. Al kana somo jutu Allah. Al kana somo al doya. Al kana somo al make invaluable. You are all valuable. So if you don't think you are valuable, how can you have anything valuable? Or how can you make your society valuable? So until African bring jutu tam found la the West came, they start to make us into slaves. But bring some people rise up among us to say that we cannot be slaves to anybody. Freedom fighters come. And freedom sometimes came in the fighting in the field like Mandela. Nelson Mandela was branded a terrorist by Margaret Thatcher. You know, Mandela it was branded, so it did not be distracted. It was branded as a terrorist. So, Ning Atrako Mandela Mosafo mu terrorist letter. Who is Alaji Sundu? I am a nobody. So, what I can do modoli kumadul for Alcana worry. Alcana worry. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. If my heart is clean, my mind is clean, that's what matters. So, assalamu alaikum. I salute all of you. Thank you very much.